Hey, it's D. It's a brand new episode coming right for you, right on the FTO Network. Enjoy. Hey yo. How we doing? D here with FTO Nerd Talk. As you just heard in my opening promo, this is a very different style of episode I'm doing today. First, I wanted to say I know I have 2 podcasts I said I was going to post this week. To be honest with you guys, I took like a break. If you've been following my pages, I haven't really been posting any up-to-date new or news stuff. So I took a break this week, man. I needed it. Father's Day coming, I said, you know what? I'm taking a break. So Crystal, Ronan, I got your podcast on Q. They're going to be posted next week instead. I apologize. It's just a lot on my plate. So with all that being said, let's get on with the show. First, before I start with my normal rigmarole of news and what to watch and things like that, I wanted to say there's a debacle going on right now on Twitter with Tom Taylor and what's going on with Duke Thomas. There's a new issue of Nightwing, and it has the Bat Family a part of the group, but mysteriously, Duke Thomas is missing from that. I'm not sure why. A lot of fans are upset by it. Not only that, Damian Wayne is also being whitewashed. Again, Cassandra Cain is pushed to the background of Stephanie Brown, spoiler, and, a lot of people are upset by this. A lot. And Tom Taylor is not really addressing it. He's just skating around it, and now, he's pushed himself off Twitter. So, he's taking a break from Twitter. He's going to be focusing on his work, I'm assuming. And that's that. So, we're going to see what happens about all this. I'll keep you guys updated on what happens. But yeah, for me personally, when it comes to Duke Thomas, this is all comic book stuff. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this is all comic book related stuff. Some of the hardcore old school fans of FTO Podcast know what I'm talking about. But Duke Thomas is like the only black character a part of the Bat Family, and he works during the day, not at night. He was for a limited time a part of the Outsiders with Cassandra Cain and Jackson of Black Lightning. So yeah, he doesn't get as much appreciation or representation as he deserves, and this is it. One of my connections towards Your Nerd was talking about Duke Thomas, with Duke Thomas and him being a part of the Bat Family, how he's being unrepresented and all those things. We're getting a Nubia finally in the spotlight. I haven't seen much of YAR4 for a while, but Duke is still getting the shaft, man. And I'm getting tired of it. Along with seeing America Chavez and Miss Marvel being whitewashed on the MCU, Disney and the Doctor Strange film, it's getting more and more annoying seeing characters who do represent a minority group of people being either changed or excluded. So, with all that being said, let's get on with the show. We have Storm Reed of Euphoria joining the cast of the HBO series Last of Us. The series is going to be on HBO. I don't exactly know when it's coming out, but I know a lot of people are talking this up. They are as excited for this as they were for the last episode when we talked about how the Horizon Dawn game. So Last of Us is coming out on HBO. I'm really excited for it to be on HBO of all things. Either HBO or Netflix, man. I think HBO would probably do a little bit more justice than Netflix could. But yes, excited for this. Next up, Anthony Anderson is leaving Law & Order. His contract was only for 1 season. I think he wanted, to bounce to something that was much different than Blackish before he started doing, work that he is really excited to do. But, he was only supposed to be here for 1 season. He and Dick Wolf, already agreed, it was going to be just 1 season of Law & Order. And then he was going to go off and do other things. But, yeah, Anthony Anderson, he's leaving Law. If you guys been following Law & Order, he's leaving the show after this season. Season 22, then, he's out. He's done. Gugu Mbatha Raw is going to be a part of this Netflix action show, thriller called Lift. That's going to be started with Kevin Hart. I think a lot of us know about Raw from what am I remembering her from? Because the name is just so poignant that I feel like it should be bouncing around in my head about where I most notably seen her from, but it is escaping me. But it's an action thriller. It seems like Hart is doing a lot more action thrillers, and having Raw a part of this too is pretty interesting. I can't. Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be in this as well. Wow. All right. Well, that's interesting. If you guys remember where you saw Gugu Mbatha Raw, let me know, because I am dropping the ball on this one. And I got this article from Shadow and Act, and they are not telling me what other credits that she's been. They tell me about Vincent D'Onofrio, they tell me about Billy Magnesium, and not telling me about Raw. So that's disappointing. Next news, we have a trilogy for The Last Airbender, the animated films in development. I think it's going to be on Netflix. I think I remember this. I'm waiting for my article to pull up. I think it's going to be on Netflix. No, Paramount Plus. Makes sense, because they own the rights to it. Yeah, Paramount Plus. Nickelodeon. So we're going to have that. They had the live action on Netflix. That's the confusion I'm going through. Yeah. But this animated series, 3 parts, it's going to be on Paramount Plus. I don't know. I don't know if I really want an Airbender, like animated films to come out. I know fans are really itching for more Airbender, but I don't know. I feel like the time has passed. It sounds like it's going to be more for adults than it's for kids, or for adults who have kids to watch with their kids, or just adults who love watching this show with the kid tone to it. I don't know. It's a lot of different people it's going to serve, but I don't think one of those people are going to be myself. So. Actor Nico Santos joins Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now, this is an interesting story to me, having this character, an openly gay Asian character, a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy story, simply because Chris Pratt is, he is known for being a part of a church that is openly homophobic. So, that's why I refuse to watch the Mario movie that's coming out. That's why I'm not going to watch the Garfield movie that's coming out, or any other properties that Amazon Prime is tagging along with Chris Pratt, because that's seems to be the home of Chris Pratt right now, is Amazon Prime giving him limited TV shows and movies under Amazon Prime contract, because apparently people who share the ideology of Chris Pratt also have Amazon Prime accounts. So yeah, I can't openly say that legitimately. I'm just being hyperbolic right now, but yeah. But it is interesting to see Santos a part of this movie, simply because of that fact. I feel like they're trying to MCU trying to cover their bases by adding him a part of this. I hope that's not the case, but I guess if some people do see it, I can have a talk with them and see what they think about it. So it's always fun to talk about people, talk with folks who share my ideals or concerns about things like this, and even though I don't take part in it, they can tell me what they thought about it. That's always the beautiful part of it. I know Shaza is trying to come back to the show. She's better. She's healthy. We're gonna be probably doing some watch parties or FTO episodes, as I like to call them. And she watches these movies all the time, so maybe she can tell me what she thinks about it, and tell you guys too. So that's always fun. Sony Pictures taps Justin Lin to direct a One Punch adaptation of the manga classic. One Punch. This is good for Justin. He just left the Fast X movie, and he's right on to something else. Sony Pictures is going to be producing this. It's going to be with Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinker, a part of the Jumanji, The Next Level, and Venom team. So, that's cool. It's in good company. People like the Venom, even though it wasn't stellar. A lot of people like the Next Level of Jumanji. That was fun. That was a good fun ride. So having One Punch like this, I just I hope they don't. I hope it feels like the manga, or at least the anime, not just a origin story the entire time. Not that I don't like origin stories. It just I want to see the character do things, not just us getting to know the character. That's frustrating. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's frustrating. Paper Girls has a trailer out. Like, I'm not gonna get into like the whole thing. Like, it's a time travel story. It's a very popular comic book. It's in like the guise of Goonies and Stranger Things. Takes place in the 80s. But the trailer is out. It's a teaser. It's like 30 seconds. It's not very long. But it's coming. It's coming. It's going to be well talked about, I'm sure. It's going to like a lot of people are going to be like talking about this extensively. I don't doubt it. In the multiverse Spider-Man movie, Jason Schwartzman is doing the voice of Spot. Spot was one of my favorite characters of Spider-Man because like he can create portals that slip through dimensions, kind of like Mirror Master in a way, but like he uses spots. Like his whole body is spots. So have like a multiverse movie and give a character who can create like multiversal dimensions and like in the universe. It's gonna be interesting to see like a great story development for that character and use like a great Spider-Man villain to capitalize on that. I think that's pretty awesome. Jennifer Hudson just achieved an EGOT, which is like she's the second black woman to do so, next to Whoopi Goldberg. So good on her. She got it for her Tony was the closing gap on this award for A Strange Loop. So congrats to her. EGOTs. When I was a kid, that was like a goal of mine to get an EGOT, and now no, I can't even get like a G in the EGOT. Like so, fun to have dreams and memories of those dreams, and like not following through on them. But you know what? Good for Jennifer Hudson. That's great. EGOT, second black woman to do so. I was listening to a Shadow and Act podcast called Opening Act, and they were talking with one of the cast members, All Rise, and they were saying that she was saying that like her grandmother said like, I'm tired of people seeing people be the first doing something. Like it's annoying having black people be the first at doing X, Y, and Z. And she replied back with saying like, well, someone has to be the first. And it was talking about the show All Rise, and like she's right. Like someone has to be the first. Yes, it's a pain always having to be the first. It's a lot of pressure on always being the first, and I agree with that. Duke Nukem movie is coming out soon. We have no real dates. We don't have any cast. We just know this movie coming out. It's from the same makers of Cobra Kai. This is pretty cool. Like, period. This is pretty cool. Like, they have like a Lobo-isk kind of character, a very macho kind of character, brought to the limelight, and like we keep hearing about this Johnny Bravo movie too. I want to see how they do this. Like, are they gonna make like him like a himbo, kind of like a Star Wars kind of character? Is it gonna be more like macho, but have like someone with him who tames him the entire time? Because like we know from playing Duke Nukem, but like those of us that did, he was by himself the entire time. There was no earpiece. Like we had like with the CW superhero film, there was like no one in his ear directing him to do X, Y, and Z. There was like no funny little robot following him along, like to instruct him what he should do. It was just a one guy with a gun blowing up like horny pigs. That was it. That was the whole game. Was that? So yeah. It's really interesting like how they're gonna like try to pull this off. I'm really interested in how that's gonna work. Midnight Sun releases a date and leaks some heroes. It comes out in October, and it's going to have Spider-Man and Scarlet Witch. For those of you who don't know, Midnight Suns is a game. It's a turn-based tactical RPG from XCOM. It was made officially during like the Summer Games feat stream, and will be out October 7th. I'm tongue-tied today. I'm usually better than this, but I just haven't been myself lately. Like, I've been like trying to push myself to do things and be a little bit more positive. I'm getting better at being nicer to myself. Mental health is everything. But with Juneteenth coming and people saying like, happy Juneteenth, like I don't need to hear that. I don't want to hear about like how it should be happy that Juneteenth is like coming and like we're gonna government holiday. Oh, there's a radio show, something called the Jubal Show. If you guys are in Atlanta, like you know what I'm talking about. Like it's just a couple of toxic white people talking about X, Y, and Z, and like it's annoying to hear them talk about like have a happy Juneteenth, everybody. When like Juneteenth is literally about slaves being freed after they were already free for 2 years, and like their slave owners like finally told them they were free. Like there's nothing to be happy about that. I do think like black people do have like the right and the option to celebrate that, but like this whole tell someone like to have a happy Juneteenth. I don't need to hear that. I just don't. I don't need to see like pretty pink and blue colors of Juneteenth is coming. Like, I don't need to see that. Like, we heard before about like the guy who tried to sell Juneteenth ice cream at Walmart. So, yeah, I'm good. But that's me. Again, that's me talking. I'm not trying to put this on everybody else, but for me, I don't need to see that. I don't want all of that. I want I want people to be just as livid as they were when they heard about George Floyd being murdered and like taking to the streets and being upset. And I want to have that same passion and rage come Juneteenth to the rest of the year. That's what I want to see. Because like we are not equals inside this country as black and brown Americans. We are not. So, yeah, that's my little soapbox. Ghostbusters, the animated series, and works on Netflix. I don't know, hell of a segue, right? Jason Reitman and Gil Keenan to produce it. I don't think they have a date. Let me see if they have a date for this. It's going to be on Netflix. Variety reported this. Sony Pictures is producing it. So it's going to be like a Sony animation, Columbia Picture type animation. There's been a few Ghostbuster cartoons already, like from like 89 to now, really. Like there's been like quite a few of them. And like in talking with Ghostbuster news, the Afterlife movie is getting a sequel, but there's no date. There's no date for this. No. So it just talked about, no real date. But there is a date for this. I Am Groot, the animated series on Disney Plus, comes out in August 10th. So there's that. It's gonna be Baby Groot with Vin Diesel doing the voice. Vin Diesel getting that check. I am Groot. I am Groot. So, there's that. It's gonna be right before the She-Hulk premiere. So like they're settling you guys in right before the wow, they're really covering their bases with this. It comes out right before She-Hulk, like a week before She-Hulk comes out. The Groot anime says they're warming everyone up to the She-Hulk. Wow, like a lot of people are really pissed off about that CGI. That's interesting. This is why you guys gotta pay attention to the dates, man. Because like they bait and switch often. I like to use the word pandering. I feel like that's disrespectful to people. Like they say like that someone's pandering, but like when they clearly show you that like they're softening the blow of one show by giving you a different show beforehand, like they did with What If, and then they gave you like the Falcon Winter Soldier, and they gave you like the Doctor Strange movie afterwards, and it ties to What If. Like you gotta pay attention to that kind of stuff. That's pretty obvious. And no, I'm not giving you like an opposite comparison. I mean, I could say like Superman being black and like having him being portrayed by Michael B. Jordan. I don't really see that as pandering. I just see like like multiple alternate universe, different character. He happens to be black. There are like a series of black farmers who are struggling right now. Like it's a perfect opportunity to show that story about like an immigrant from a different planet come to this planet. His name happened to be Clark Kent. Like he was adopted by the Kents, and they happen to be black farmers. I don't think that's out of the ordinary. Like it's not like a big thing. It's just a different universe. It's like you guys can accept the What If stories and like all the other characters being different race and genders. Like why is that any different? That's not pandering in my eyes. But I notice I've been doing that a lot lately. Like taking it on the chin and just like not going along with stuff, not talking about certain things. Like when it comes like the race and stuff like that. Like, and yes, like it is okay and acceptable for me not to talk about that because like the world is a hell of a place and it is stressful and talking about it does have a mental toll on you after a while. But like I feel like I need to like push myself through that and talk about it more because I see Nerd on Street for Life talking about it a hell of a lot. I see Yo Nerd talking about it a hell of a lot, like with the Tom Taylor thing. And like I'm not doing as much as I should be, and I think I need to be. And like even Fukunami is talking about it with the Moses situation in Star Wars. I wasn't going to talk about that, but like they were. But I guess like that's the point of a community, right? Like if you're not going to talk about something, you got other people in your community who have like the same kind of like-minded thoughts as you do, and they will talk about it, and they will get you inspired to talk about it too. So like I guess FTO is working in its own way. Like if Fukunami is working in its own way, so is Yo Nerd and Nerd on the Street. Like it's working in its own way. And, like we're all like bouncing off each other. So like in that regard, it is working. So Cyberpunk Runners Netflix series arrives in September. So even though a lot of stuff happened with Cyberpunk, it is getting a TV show on Netflix. I thought Netflix was weren't doing as much animation anymore. What is this all about? Like we talked about that, right? that Netflix was like taking a break from doing their animations and whatnot. I do remember us talking about that a while back, but I guess things change, times change. Netflix needs to make that bank, and the best way to do so is honestly with adult animation. So it's gonna be rated R. So just putting that out there. It's gonna be R. It's gonna be adult themed. I'm excited for that. I love me an adult themed animation, adult cartoons. I literally think people like ourselves. I know my demographic. That's why I say ourselves. People like ourselves, like the 18 to 45 range, who listen to this podcast, we grew up in the 80s, 70s, and 90s. Like we grew up on Saturday morning cartoons, so we get it. We get what Saturday morning cartoons, what cartoons can do and can put on you as an adult, like the X-Men TV show, the Batman animated series, Eat the Cat, Bobby's World, Fantastic Max, like Pirates of Dark Water. I can keep on going, but there's so many different lineage of cartoon shows out there that give you inspiration, to keep watching, to get endowed in the show, to understand a little bit more about yourself, and the creators put a lot of soul inside of it. I just finished watching Young Justice, and it showed me a lot of nuance and heart that I wasn't expecting to see. It showed me a lot of different feelings about these characters who have a different alternate universe personality than what we're used to seeing in the Earth Prime DC universe, and it was good. It was powerful. It was invoking. It gave a lot of spirit to keep going, to keep persevering, to keep understanding your role as a person. And I was here for it. I know I'm talking talking a lot about a TV show, but sometimes the little TV shows give you that kind of inspiration, which is why so many people are at bat for Tom Taylor right now. It's not as big as you're making it about Duke Thomas not being a part of that comic book, man. Because his work gives them something to speak about, gives them something to motivate themselves, to understand life a little bit better. I get it, I do. And just like me talking about this show, talking about the adult cartoons that I want to see more of, or anything else that has something that people get inspired by. It's not easy. To find an inspiration that can keep on going, inspiration that can when people question it, you want to either defend it or write those people off. I get that too. It's just I want to see more adult cartoons. I want the things to be held accountable. I just I want to see the betterness of things. But I think my problem in particular is to find that ebb and flow of that, and to keep going after I find it. And I can't speak for everyone else, but I do think a large amount of us go through that also. So it's like the picking your battles conversation, essentially. Game of Thrones, Jon Snow sequel series in development at HBO. This is awesome. I look like Kit Harington coming back. Yes, please. Yes, please. And it's gonna be as the new. It's gonna be right after the new Game of Thrones prequel TV show. Hell yes. This needs to be a theme, mind you, of shows and properties that are set from the sequel to the prequel, getting TV shows, and we're getting to explore those worlds in an extensive form. Yes, Disney did kind of perpetuate this whole thing, but it's working, man. They have 15 Star Wars shows at Disney right now, and now Lord of the Rings is doing it. Now HBO is doing it, with Game of Thrones, and other DC properties too. So I gotta tell you, dude, I'm not angry about this whatsoever. It may be a little much. It may be especially with inflation, these Syrian prices going up, all that kind of stuff. I get that. I got it. I really do. We should probably spend a little bit more time outside. But they call this a golden age of TV for a reason, dude. So yeah, this is not a bad thing at all. At all. What else we got? What else do we have? OWN has a season 3 premiere date for the courtroom drama All Rise. I probably should have talked about that when I was talking about it beforehand. But after I watched that podcast, they talked about how OWN bought the rights to the show. And it premiered June 7th on OWN. And when I listened to the podcast talking about Lola, the character Simone Missick, That's the actor who was attached to like the opening act. And yes, I say actor for all actors. I don't really say actress. Like they're all thespians. Like I could just say thespians. Like there's no gender specific term for thespian. It's just thespian. Like again, soapbox. But like that's just how I am. But someone was on like the opening act podcast and like talking about like what her grandmother said. But she was also talking about how she's excited like for being on OWN because like, you get to push the boundaries like you couldn't do with CBS. You get to go and first I thought it was on NBC, not CBS. That's also interesting to know. But they get to go a little bit edgier, a little bit darker with the stories. And if you watch the show All Rise, it was a little like dark at times already. For them to be able to push that envelope a little bit more, it's gonna be fascinating. So I hope they put this on Hulu. I don't know. I can't be getting owned just to watch All Rise. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't. But that was a whole big like movement to push to get this show on OWN, and like good for them. They got what they wanted, and like it's worth having because like they touched some topics. They really like they touched like the gender pronouns. They touched on like oppression, like in the court system that is pertaining towards black and brown people. They talked about like tense and toxic situation that happens inside of courtrooms, like how like those usually resolved, and like these are people, a part of the clergy who try to be upstanding, justifiable, like decent, honorable people, and like seeing that. It gives inspiration, like to hoping to see that in the future with other people, the clergy, like being human, but also following the rules that like the courts lay out, and like in fighting to some of those rules that do come off as being unjust, and like that's interesting. It really is. Like, if you ever watch All Rise, it's a good show. It really is. It's a lot to digest because literally it's a lot to digest. But like the show itself is really good. When it comes to TV shows, games, and movies of the week, we have Cha Cha Real Smooth comes out June 17th. We got the third season of Evil comes out June 12th. For All Mankind season 3 comes out June 10th. I haven't seen that seemed interesting. That's why I put it on the list because I really want to watch that. In 3 seasons already, I'm all for it. Peaky Blinders season 8 comes out June 10th. Again, like I'm recording this like the day before Juneteenth, so I know like all these things already came out. I'm just giving you guys the dates. I really didn't really like Peaky Blinders, but I know like Peaky Blinders is like a whole big thing for like a lot of you out there. And hey, it's season 6, so it's worth talking about, right? But I like Cillian Murphy. He just like the show itself doesn't do it for me. 3 episodes, like all right, I'm good. This is not my cup of tea. So like for someone else, happy for you. For this guy, not so much. So Miss Marvel season 1 came out June 8th. I think that's what that says. June 8th. Star Wars, Knights of the Republic 2, The Sith Lords on the Switch comes out June 8th also. The Mario Strikers Battle League on the Switch also June 10th. And The Quarry June 10th. The Quarry is interesting because I as you guys know, I follow MK Ice and Fire, and they're playing this game right now, and like I didn't know what the hell it was. I thought it was like some kind of Rob Zombie-esque Devil Rejects kind of situation because it looked fucking spooky and hillbilly at the same time. But I read the synopsis on this, and it seemed pretty cool. It seemed pretty interesting. It seems like let's see if I can get the synopsis for you guys. As the sun sets on the last day of summer camp, the teenagers' counselor of Hackett Quarry throws a party to celebrate. No kids, no adults, no rules. Things quickly take a turn for the worse. Haunted by blood-drenched locals and something far more sinister, the teens' party plans unravel into an unpredictable night of horror. Friendly banter and flirtation give way to life-or-death decisions as relationships build or break under the strain of unimaginable choices. It just sounds interesting. I think like they got the category is Supermassive Games is the developer, and it's an action adventure survivor game rated M for mature. So it seems cool. It really does. The comics for this week: Wonder Woman, issue number 788. Wolverine, issue number 22. I Am Batman, number 10. If you guys watch my FTO News, I talked about this. This is my comic book to check out. Miles Morales, what if? What if he became Thor? They're doing a lot with Miles Morales. What if? Which is cool. Like it's cool because like it is a throwback because they used to do this like with Spider-Man and like Miles Morales and Spider-Man. Like they used to do Spider-Man with all the what ifs. All the what ifs was involved in Spider-Man. Like and having Miles Morales as a what if, like that's a cool homage, man. I dig that. Grimm issue number 2, Power Rangers issue number 20, and Slumber number 4. That's it. That is the FTO podcast. Half an hour. Whew. I've had this for a while. This was a fun episode. I'm glad you guys joined me for this. Thank you for joining me on this. Pay attention to Shaza coming back soon. Yay, Shaza! See that? Yeah, that's good, right? The audience is bottom. They're excited. Like, they're excited for you, Shaza. I know you still listen to the podcast. I know you do. Like, that's how Shaza and I got linked up with each other. She listened to my podcast, put it out there, linked on Twitter, started doing a podcast together. Like, you know, COVID came, she got sick, but she's better now, and we're getting back at it. And make sure you guys listen out for Crystal's podcast of me interviewing her. Actor moving out to Los Angeles. I think she like recently moved last week, and like she's getting herself settled out there. She's also a stunt person. Whew, she's a bad dude. Great cosplayer. Also Ronan Josiah. You guys know who Josiah Lee is. He did a live with me on my Instagram page. We talked about like life, talked about like the Taoism, like the way we see things, like the future of the world, like the black culture. We talked about a lot of different things. It was a fun conversation. So look out for that. And look out for the Comment Point episode that I was supposed to drop, but haven't. Because I've just been not on my game. With FTO Nerd and I. I think we're talking about Iron Fist and I forget the other comic book. Oh, it was Robin. The first 5 issues of Robin. That's right. Yeah. So till next time, you guys take it easy. You got any news that I may have missed, let me know. Make sure you follow my YouTube page, because if you follow my YouTube page, it will help me out in the future, because I can, like, you know, grow myself with my YouTube page and make more videos that, like, I can do more things with. I'm going to give you some features after you pass 1,000. I'm at, like, 600 right now, so I'm getting there. It's a slow process, but it's my process, and I'm okay with it. So, until next time, you guys take it easy. Hey guys, D here of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.